Let's get into it. Hit your computer again. Joe Rogan and Charles Wesley Godwin are talking about the immigration crisis that's going on at the southern border. And Charles has some experiences and some stories about that. Joe shares his, of course, and then we have a whole bunch of information. You got some information?
Yeah, we're going to talk about exactly how many people are coming through, why it might be a problem, and some of the assistance they've been getting from the government.
And then I said to you, I was like, hey, did you find any articles about any like terrorist type of people coming through? And you're like, there is none. And I have I have a surprise for her and a surprise for you. And it's not a fun surprise. Not at all. Let's get into this. Don't forget about IamCoachColin.com. We got Sold Not For Sale. New design. We got George Orwell Was Right. And we got 1984. Discount code is I Am Coach Colin. All capital letters, all one word. 1 L in the name Colin. Let's get into this clip.
You know, that there's personal responsibility. There's also education. There's counseling. There's a bunch of different things that can be set up to mitigate that. And I think that's the better direction for society, better than propping up cartels. We've got this fucking thing that's happening right across our border where there's immense organizations that have insane amounts of money because they've been selling drugs that are illegal in America.
Yeah, they're like warlords.
Yeah, I mean, legit warlords.
Yeah, it's some of those property owners down there, I don't know how they're dealing with that.
Bro, I was just watching this video today of this guy who lives on the border, and they're dealing with all these people that come across the border that are smuggling drugs, and it's fucking dangerous. It's like you can't approach them, can't go anywhere near them. You have no idea what they're carrying. You have no idea who they are, or what they're doing, and who they work for. And he's like, it's terrifying. They're just traveling across your property with a backpack, and and you just gotta just let it happen.
Yeah, and 2 years ago, I played a show down in San Antonio, and there was a rancher there at the show, and we were talking afterwards, and he said. And this would have been like right around that time. This had just happened. So this is April of 21. He said one of his best friends, who's also a rancher, got a bunch of feds rolled up to their house one day and put him and his family on house arrest for 2 days without any explanation as to why. And then 2 days go by and they say, okay, it's all good. We're so sorry for the inconvenience. And the guy's like, whoa. You can't just... You there has to be an explanation here. And I guess, hopefully I'm not getting somebody in trouble here, but the guy's like, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but there are 9 insurgents and that had crossed the border, and we, just so happened to get them here on your properity.
Holy shit.
I bet the feds were probably watching them, and then when they decided to actually take them, it must have been on this guy's ranch. Wow. So you got your kids are out maybe doing a chore on your ranch, on your own farm. So yeah, you got thousands of acres or something, and who knows what you could be running into.
Have you seen some of the recent videos of the migration lines moving? Not just in Mexico, they're moving from South America through Mexico into the United States.
I saw the ones from like a few years back, but I've almost like tuned out.
The numbers
they're doing
are
it again
insane.
and stuff.
The numbers are insane. Somebody just released a graph that shows the numbers of illegal aliens over the last year in comparison to previous years. So it's like you see the graph and it's like 2014, 2015, 2016, and it gets to 2021. It's just like, yikes. There's more illegals have made it into this country over the last year, I believe, than are people that live in 5 different states legally.
Oh my God. Yeah, West Virginia's got 1.8 million on a real good year. Maybe it's probably a little less than that. And
there's a lot more illegal aliens every year coming into. What's the number per month now?
What's the fix for something like that?
Well, you gotta fucking have a secure border if you want to fix it. It doesn't seem like they want to fix it. Like AOC was on TV the other day doing an interview, and she was saying, she was calling them undocumented people, and the way to do it is to give them a path to citizenship. Well, how about who the fuck they are? Because if you're a person from another country, say if you're in Europe and you want to come to America and become an American citizen, you're an architect or whatever, this is like a long, lengthy process. And they only take a certain amount of people every year. And you have to prove that you have a skill. There's a reason why you should be here legally.
Yeah.
But if you want to do it illegally, they'll give you money. They'll give you a cell phone. There's people in Mexico. What they're doing is, this is pretty wild, because there's a radio station in San Diego that is a Mexican radio station. This guy was on the Mexican radio station. He's explaining how we do it. He's like, he's gone back 4 times that month. So every time he crosses over, he gets $2,000.
He's gaming it.
So he's gaming. He made $8,000 in a month from the federal government.
You almost, what do? You set up, because back in the day, when there's, I don't know everything, obviously, but like maybe the similar time in American history would have been the early 1900s. And you had all those Europeans coming over on the boats to work over in the U.S.
That's how my family got here.
Yeah, and everybody went through Ellis Island or somewhere like it where you go in and you got some sort of papers.
Yeah, it was pretty easy.
And
honestly,
they
check.
At least though, they got you like they got a name.
Yeah.
And
not even people changed it.
Yeah, they changed it right there if it was like too hard to pronounce.
Yeah,
sometimes.
a lot of people did that.
Yeah, my bass player's last name got fucked with a little bit.
I'm sure. Yeah, a lot of people's names got changed. It was easy to come over here back then when my grandparents came here. But, that was the law back then. This is not the law. The law is that you're supposed to go through this process where they vet you and they find out if you're a criminal and they find out if you're a terrorist. And they're not doing that at all. They're just opening the border and they're essentially buying votes.
Yeah.
They're doing this. They're letting these people come in and they're assuming these people are going to vote for the Democrats.
Mm-hmm.
And it's wild. It's wild that it's happening right in front of everybody's eyes. And most people aren't aware of it unless they see these videos. Or like Elon was telling me that when you go there, do you really understand the scope of it? He goes, it's extraordinary. You can't believe the numbers of people that are making their way across. It's just insane. And everyone knows about it. So all these people that live in these, and I don't blame them at all, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you're just a regular person that was unfortunate to be born in a terrible environment, and you realize if I get to America, I can feed my family. I get a job. I can work on a farm. I can whatever it is. I can work in a factory, and we could live in a good way instead of being trapped in this hellhole in which we were just unfortunately born in. Yeah, I get it.
You're going to go for it.
Fuck yeah. If I was in Guatemala, 100% I'd have a backpack.
Yeah.
100% I'd be on that fucking trek. Let's go.
Yeah, if you get up here and get some work and send money home.
How many lazy Americans do we have in this country that just fuck off and don't want to do jack shit and they're just fucking... Meanwhile, we got people walking here from Mexico.
Yeah. Yeah, you see it. And that's the thing, like back to the COVID thing, man, it like it flipped a switch in a lot of folks' heads from one end of that to the other with I mean, if you're not where you're at in life, then you're never going to get there half-assing your day.
No.
Wherever you happen to be, it might be the best idea to like give it your best.
Yeah.
And that's or else you're just going to be a miserable fuck the rest of your life.
Well, that was one thing that happened to a lot of people that was good. They realized that this job that they had, they hated, that just went away. Okay, not only did I fucking hate this job, but I thought it was necessary because it was the only thing that I had. I didn't want to lose it. But then they just fucking took it away from me. God damn it, I'm going to go for my fucking dream.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people did. They went for their dream. They started small businesses. They got their shit together. They lost weight. A lot of people did a lot of very positive things when their back was against the wall.
Yeah.
And then a lot of people just went on unemployment. And a lot of people never wanted to get on. I mean, I had friends that were in the bar business, and they couldn't get people to work.
Mm-hmm.
They couldn't get bartenders. They couldn't, because people were making more money being unemployed.
Yeah.
Taking unemployment, and they would rather live like that. They'd rather get that free check.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They and that was.
Oh, very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Especially that house arrest story.
Yeah, that's so scary. How can they just
Just 2 days. All right. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Hold on, sir. Sir, I need to know why we weren't allowed to leave our house for 2 days.
Well, for me, it would need to be told before.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a very nice guy.
Yeah.
A very nice person to just.
If someone
just
knocked on our door right now and was like, "You need to stay inside,"
and and the funny thing is, again, this is probably not a small property. It's probably not an acre lot. It's probably hundreds of acres.
Yeah.
So even that makes it even odder because you're looking around and you're like, I don't see anything.
Yeah,
for
true.
them to be doing this. And we were just looking at a bunch of acre ranch properties too. Yep. I can't wait. I'm gonna get one. I promise you, I'm gonna get one. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be fantastic. Mm-hmm. Chickens everywhere. Chickens and cattle. Oh man.
Just not in that area.
Not directly, but we'll figure it out. But first things first. I know it's like spur of the moment because we just heard about it. Did you see anything about that radio host at all?
No, I couldn't find anything.
Oh man, I want to know that story. If he's just going and crossing and getting money each time, that's insane.
I can't find any kind of.
Because then we're doing that. We're just gonna cycle and just keep going.
Well, yeah, that would make a lot of sense.
Could you imagine somebody, you know how big that would be on YouTube or any platform if you just did that until the point where you had like $100,000?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That'd be crazy.
Oh my gosh. I wonder how he's doing. Well, I was gonna say, I wonder how he's doing it. You're meeting up with so many different people all the time.
Yeah.
Like those guards are not the same guards and they can't tell. They're just looking at a sea of people.
Yeah, there's too many to be able
just
to.
Like you're just like, okay, this guy that guy, I don't know. Like, you would never think, didn't I see you yesterday? You'd never think that.
Yeah.
That's
like
how
when
you know.
People try and get like a bunch of Costco samples and they just like change their hats.
But you could literally do that. Easy, right? All right, so let's get into this. Where do you want to start first?
Do you want to go to the AP article? It's kind of in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it.
So this is talking about, it's kind of debunking that story that Joe was talking about. It doesn't mention the radio host specifically, but I guess it's been talked about online a lot that people have been receiving money just for
money,
crossing,
phones, and it actually is true. I wish I knew that you had this article, because I've seen many articles talking to immigrants that are actually receiving this money.
Yeah,
they actually do.
From what it says in the article, they are receiving some funds, just not that much.
Yeah, maybe.
And it depends on where they're coming from and their status.
And see, I hate that, because when you see this as a quote unquote debunking, and it's like, no, they don't receive $2,200
yeah,
each.
Then it makes you think
it's actually $1,000.
Yeah.
But you're not putting that part in the article. You're just saying, no, it's not true. And then it's all supposed to go away.
And then it spreads.
But they are receiving money.
Yeah.
And they are receiving phones.
I didn't know that. I haven't seen anything about that.
They're receiving cell phones. And then what people are speculating is that these cell phones are supposed to be able to track them and where they are. Which is such a flimsy idea, because right away, as you're planting your feet in New York, more than likely, because that's usually where they end up, New York, Chicago, sanctuary places, Democratic run places, all of a sudden you're going to be like, I want a better phone.
Yeah.
How do I get a better phone? You know, and like, you're going to go about it any way you can, probably black market, you know, a guy has a phone, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, or you don't want to be tracked.
Exactly.
So you get a different
Especially
phone.
That, if you know that.
Exactly.
Or if you are one of the people that has ill intentions, you don't want to get tracked.
Yeah.
And you figure out a way around that right away.
It's true.
Because if there's people, and there are people throwing away their passports as they get to the border, because they know the process is easier when they don't have any identification, there could be many people that don't want to be tracked in those rankings.
Yeah.
You know, like, if you already don't want them to know who you actually are, like, I don't know, it's crazy.
I was thinking about that because they were talking about in the clip how you don't know like people's backgrounds when they're coming in. Even if we were to go like travel to a different country, they would know our background. Like, if we went on vacation, they would know our background.
Of course. 100%.
Never mind like going to live there.
100%. That's why everybody who is, I don't know, awake to this whole thing is like, this is crazy, because everywhere you go, when it comes to travel, the place you go to needs to know who you are.
Yeah.
And the reason that they want to know who you are is because you could be dangerous.
Yeah, it's for the safety of the citizens.
It's just a blanket all. It's not racist or xenophobic or anything. It's just, we need to know who you are.
Yeah.
You could be anybody.
Yeah.
So
this article goes on to say a little bit later that for some reason there are exceptions to the rule of like migrants not being eligible for federal cash assistance. Yeah. And it says the exception is certain Cuban and Haitian people.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know why those two places specifically. It doesn't really explain.
Because those people aren't going to vote for Democrats. Cuban people are not voting for Democrats.
Yeah, it's strange.
They're like, no.
But
I came a long way to not vote another person like that in to power. Haitian people as well. They're not voting for Democrats.
Yeah.
No chance. No chance whatsoever. So that's probably the reasoning.
Yeah, maybe.
I bet they don't give people from Venezuela that money either.
Yeah, that's true.
They're like, you stay here. Stay right here.
Can you go to the CBS News article? The logo's an eye.
Of course. Of course it is.
Of course it is.
All right, let's get into that.
Yeah.
What's that?
So this one says migrants cross U.S. border in record numbers, undeterred by Texas's razor wire and Biden's policies.
Yeah, of course.
So what this article is talking about, it has a bunch of really good pictures. So if you scroll down a little bit.
Let me scroll down.
So this is where a big crossing point is.
Nuts.
Yeah. It's really crazy.
So you just throw blankets or whatever on top of it and just kind of...
Yeah, or there's like some parts of the wire that are like lifted up a little bit so people go under it. So it's a bit crazy. And this, the closest town is called Eagle Pass in Texas.
Okay.
So there's between 6,000 and 10,000 people a day coming through this town.
Of course.
Which is absolutely ridiculous.
Of course.
Yeah.
It's wild what's happening right now.
And the picture, sorry?
The various people that have actually gone over and looked, Elon Musk, RFK Jr., Vivek Ramaswamy, Tim Kennedy. Tim Kennedy was there on work, obviously. They needed him there. Mm-hmm. But it's crazy. Every single account of it. You know, Joe was talking about how Elon's like, it's extraordinary. It's wild watching these videos.
Yeah.
Of how many people. There's one video, and I can't find it anymore, but it was a long documentary about it. And that's where I actually learned that they're throwing away their passports, because this guy was interviewing one of the Border Patrol. Mm-hmm. And they were just walking. He goes, there's one. And he just like picks it up.
Oh my gosh. Passport. And there's the passport.
There's another one. Here's another one. Like there's everywhere. It's like really happening.
That's so weird. And the picture we're looking at now has like the clothes kind of all over the ground. Apparently that's like super common because they come out of the river. They're all wet. So they strip their clothes, leave them there, and put on fresh ones that they have plastic packed in their bags. So it's just like a dumping ground all over that area.
You know what's funny about that? As you say that shows that they already know what to expect.
Yeah.
Which means that
they have a plan.
Somebody's already telling them what to expect.
Yeah. They know exactly what to do.
Wild.
Yeah. And then if you keep going down, there's more pictures.
Oh, here?
Yeah. So these are people just like standing on like a sandbar in the middle of the river, just looking for a good entry point. And there are members of the Texas Guard.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt. Vivek Ramaswamy, I think it was Vivek's video. One of these videos. They're talking about this little sandbar. Mm-hmm. That is America.
Oh, it is.
So they're in.
Okay.
And they know that.
Huh.
Yeah. So they actually sit there and they wait.
For what?
Till dark, till it's clear, because they're not supposed to be swimming across. But as they're right there, they're in the clear.
Interesting.
I remember,
so like they can't be collected by Mexico, or like what's the point of being in the clear?
Yes, I think that's what it is. I think that's exactly what it is, because this was actually a thing in that documentary I was watching. I need to find that guy's documentary. I might have it in one of my playlists. But yeah, go ahead. Keep going. I'm just going to try and pull this up.
So the Texas National Guard was instructed to only interfere in cases of life or death. So they've been basically sidelined. So even if they have guards on the other side of this razor wire, if somebody's coming through, they don't stop them. They just stand there. So what they're instructed to do is once these people come through, they tell them how to get to the Border Patrol.
Really?
Yeah. And a lot of these people do comply and they go to Border Patrol. But what happens when they get there is they say, oh, we're seeking asylum. So they get their names taken down and whatever, and they're released into the States. But the courts are so backed up because there's so many people that it will take years to get through everyone.
Yeah.
So until then, they're just chilling.
They're just going to have a whole life established by the time it actually goes to court.
And then it's going to be a different story. They probably won't get deported.
And then when you think about that whole thing, oh, I actually found it. Then when you think about that whole thing, right, think about this. They're going to have a whole life set up. They're going to start feeling out which government wants them there. Like which part of the government wants them there. Then if what they're trying to do actually becomes a thing, which is give these people the right to vote. Yeah. Now, all of a sudden, you have millions of people who are like, who wants to deport me?
Yeah.
Because right now they're looking at Trump and it's like, Trump's like, we're going to have the most massive deportation you've ever seen. Mm-hmm. He's like, and it's just something I got to do.
They're not going to vote for him.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if they get the chance right now, which they're trying to push for 2024 to have these people be able to vote.
Yeah, that's crazy.
None of them are going to vote for him. They're all going to vote for Biden.
You know what's crazy is that's like such a common political thing too. Like even in, I grew up in a relatively small town where my parents still live. And
it's all
when they had mayoral elections.
That's where all the people are dying.
Oh, there we go.
When they had elections for the mayor, there was one of the candidates who everybody knew was absolutely horrible. And he would hold multiracial barbecues and picnics with free food to welcome these newcomers.
Multiracial? Like, would he do one race at a time or just everybody come?
No, just like he would target it towards specific races by inviting entertainment from that culture, having food from that culture. But it was just this white guy.
Of course.
And everybody else knew he was horrible, but he ended up winning.
Yeah.
Because he was catering to all these kind of new groups who were coming in who didn't know anything about him.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
And people win with that.
See, like this right here. Like, this is one example from this video. This channel is, it's called Peter Santinello. Peter Santinello. It's called at US/Mexico border with Arizona sheriff. Exclusive access. So here's just like a little quick tidbit. This guy's from China, they're saying right off the bat.
In China. What a wild part of the world. Yuma County, then the natives control this land. We have...
Look, they're finding money, all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, really wild. This is a wild documentary. As you start seeing and hearing the like money, everything, they throw away everything. So you have no idea where they're from.
Wow.
So even if they have little bits of money, they get rid of it.
Yeah, I remember you showed me this, and like while they were just patrolling, there were several people crossing the river.
Oh yeah. And I'm pretty sure it was this one where he was talking about that little chunk being like free land.
Huh.
That you can't. Oh, that might have been it right there. But yeah, go ahead with the article. Sorry, I'm just trying to.
Yeah, that's okay. When you can get to it again in that same article, if we scroll down a bit more, it shows basically the holding area of all of these people coming in, and they don't have anything to do with them.
Here?
Yeah.
You know what?
So people are here for 2 or 3 days.
There was actually a video of a guy, because I don't know if it's this exact place, of course, but there was a guy playing golf. And he hit the ball, and then a bunch of immigrants were like, ah! And they were just here because they were just standing there.
Yeah,
they had like
waiting.
nowhere to go. Yeah, they were just waiting. So I wonder.
They're waiting for processing there, and you can see there's several people covered in those like shock blankets, like the silver mylar. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they've been giving out those because it gets really, really cold at night because it's like the desert.
Oh yeah, they're there through the night too.
Yeah, and they don't really have anything to keep these people warm or sheltered. And there's like babies. Like there's one story in this article about a lady has her 4-month-old baby and they're waiting in line to get formula for the baby.
That's crazy.
Right?
That's so sad.
I can't imagine crossing with
a baby.
Yeah, through a river.
Yeah.
But so they said from where they're from in Colombia that their son was threatened by a cartel group. So they felt like they all had to leave.
Wow. And here's the thing, though, and that's a sad story, but you can easily make it up. There's no way to verify that.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way to verify if that's true.
Exactly.
And they could all just be saying that because a lot of them are taking asylum because of war, threats like that, things of that. But I saw a diagram where it was just showing like countries with no war, and it was like all the places that these people were coming from. It's like there's no war going on here, no war here, no war here, no war here. So it's like,
yeah, like you could go somewhere else. It doesn't have to be the States either.
Well, I mean, you know, it's funny because like, why doesn't Mexico have to like handle any of this?
Yeah,
it's very odd that they're just kind of like, we don't know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, 10,000. I saw them. Yeah, they just kind of rolled through.
Yeah,
they said they're all going to your border. I don't know. Like, you don't have to explain at all. Like how did they? What's going on? Did you process any of these people? Like, how come?
That's true. How did they get into your country?
Yeah, exactly. Like, don't they have to come together? Well, I guess in a perfect world, these patrolmen would be able to come together with Mexican authority and be like, okay, who are these people?
Yeah.
Do they all have passports? Okay, so this guy threw away his passport. He doesn't have it anymore. So you keep him? Okay, this guy has his. Okay, we'll process him. Okay, this guy, again, you're going to keep him? Like, I don't know. There should be something. Like, they're not picking up their slack.
Yeah, but why would they? Like, they have no incentive to.
They should have to if they're coming through your country. They should kind of have
agreed. They should have to.
Like there should be a thing where it's like it's just odd that nobody is approaching them saying, why do you keep on allowing hundreds of thousands of people to come to our country?
Yeah.
And there should be a leader strong enough to be like, if you do this next month, we're going to consider it an invasion. You're invading us. Is that what you want? No, it's not us. These guys are no. If this happens next month, this is an invasion. So handle it. Do something.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just weird.
I can't remember if it said it was 2021 or 2022, but the number coming from the southern border was 2.6 million migrants in the year.
That's why every time somebody tells me the population is 380, I'm like, yeah, 420. It's more like 420.
Yeah.
Probably 450.
Yeah.
Like it's probably coming up. You know, it's like probably between 420 and 450.
Yeah, that's true.
For sure. 380. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And then we were talking about it earlier. Texas and Arizona have been busing migrants up to other states.
Yeah, of course.
Because one, they just can't handle all those people remaining there. And two, they're Republican states and they're bringing them to Democratic states.
They're bringing them to the places that were complaining.
Yeah.
And saying, how dare you not take these people?
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, okay, sorry.
Here you go.
And then bringing them. New York doesn't know what to do. That Eric Adams is his name, the mayor. He has no idea what to do.
Who would? That's crazy.
I made a video where it's a timeline and it's him talking about how these people need a place to stay. And, you know, then all of a sudden he's talking about like a month or two later, he's talking about we're going to take them and we're going to house them. Then all of a sudden he's talking about we might have to open the private residence of New York. You might have to take some people because we don't have enough space.
Yeah.
And then there's like the last clip is like, this is going to destroy us. He's like, this is going to destroy this city. And it's like, man. And it was in a 6-month span.
Yeah.
It was like he just wasn't thinking at all.
The article I'm reading now says New York is currently housing 60,000 migrants.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Massachusetts has 11,000.
They're probably housing them. Maybe
yeah, they have to.
They're probably not counting the ones that are on the street.
No.
Because there's a bunch on the street.
Yeah.
That are just like set up the same way homeless people would have to be set up.
And I was reading a bunch of things too about like why is immigration now different from previous booms that we've had. Like in the 1990s, apparently there was like a big boom for some reason. And they were saying it's a very different group of people who are coming up. So right now we're seeing more families trying to like start lives, which is really nice. But the issue is that in the 90s, it was more single men who were coming up to work. So it was kind of a different demographic. And the single men usually had hosts who they could stay with. Like they knew people and they were going to stay with them, versus these families coming up with young kids need a lot more services and need housing.
Yeah, it's wild the way that it's happening right now. And Joe Rogan just keeps talking about it. He keeps talking about how he's like feeling like this is like very engineered. You know, he went from is it engineered to are they trying to buy votes to this is engineered, and they're obviously trying to buy votes. Like, yeah, I've watched the evolution closely over the past 6 months of how, well, even a year or so ago, I made a video about how he felt maybe like 2 years ago versus now. And he's like, oh man, these people need a place, and you know, it's America, they got to come over and blah, blah, blah. And now it's just like, what is this? So this is for votes. Like,
yeah, now he lives in Texas.
Yeah, exactly. Now
and he sees it.
Now he's feeling it. See, when you're in that California, right? He's in that California state of mind, right? And now he's in the Texas state of mind. He's like, oh, I'm feeling this now. This is no good. I don't like this feeling.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Because he lives not that close to the border.
No.
Not that close. But yeah, I guess he lives in a super affluent area. Like really, really affluent.
Yeah.
But everybody's going to feel it if it keeps happening.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw a video. There's one guy talking about it. They're talking about how there is a massive encampment of the immigrants in Texas. I don't know if that's true because he wasn't really providing any proof It was like one of those guys that's just kind of screaming about things, and he's just like, this right here, and he's just showing a helicopter flying over something. He's like, that's a city. It's a city of them. And I'm like, okay.
Where?
But, that it could get to that point.
Yeah.
If it just keeps going like this.
Yeah. Like
it's
maybe
really
he's
weird.
talking about that picture we just showed. Like all those people just waiting there.
No, he was showing like a bunch of housing.
Oh, okay.
And he was like, they have taken over. In New York, recently, talking about New York again, they just kicked out, I believe, I want to say, well, it was just a whole high school.
I saw that.
They kicked out a whole high school because they need to put a bunch of immigrants in there.
Yeah. And AOC said something about it's not my district.
Yeah. She's like, bread. They need bread, whatever.
It's always the bread.
Yeah, that's all she ever says. They need bread. They need this. Leave me alone.
They're stealing because they need bread.
She's like, I'm trying to watch the charts. Okay? I'm trying to do these trades. But yeah, they just kicked out a bunch of children from a school, and now those children they're gonna have to do their studies online.
Yeah,
it's
it's crazy.
Be like go back to like the whole virtual thing.
Yeah, that's
Wild.
horrible.
Wow, so much stuff's going on. What else you got?
I do have an article from Fox News about Republicans.
This one?
Yeah. So they're requesting another study on the link between crime and migrants, because apparently there hasn't really been one done since 2018, and obviously there's a lot of differences from between now and 2018. We have a lot more migrants coming in, but I was really surprised to hear they don't have like ongoing records they could pull. Like, why do you need to do like a full out study every time?
How would they be able to know this if they don't even know who these people are and they just send them into a city? You send someone to New York, the guy could be back in Louisiana right now.
Yeah.
You have no idea where they are. They have no
guess.
clue to make a guess of what's going on. They can say we've let in this many people and crime's gone up this much, but like they can't really make a correlation.
Well, this article is talking to you about certain instances. I wouldn't scroll down. There's some nasty words.
Yeah, I bet.
But there was a Honduran illegal immigrant who was charged with a bunch of nasty things. And then there was a Venezuelan migrant accused of, again, nasty things against women. Yeah. So there's like several instances in here. So that means all of those people have been arrested, which means that they know they're not citizens during the arrest. So why can't they just pull data like all the time? Like if they know about these couple.
Oh yeah, right. So anybody that they take in.
Yeah, like if they don't find them, sure.
That makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense. So it's like everything that has been convicted, or at least you end up grabbing a perp.
Yeah.
You would have data on that.
Exactly.
Well, this becomes, Republicans are requesting this.
Yeah, it's weird that it's only
it from House Republicans are requesting this. They're requesting it of Democratic cities, and Democrats are just going to look at it and go, no, that's xenophobic.
Yeah.
That's just
to even look
prejudice.
into it.
You can't even ask about that.
Yeah.
These people need help. Blah 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 blah. We're not doing it.
Yeah. And from what I was reading when I was looking into this,
I was muted when I said that. Damn.
Oh no.
I was muting myself. All right, yeah. Well, I was just saying it's House Republicans versus Democrats, and Democrats are not going to allow them to look into that kind of thing.
Yeah, it's true.
They're just going to be like, no.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so we covered a bunch of stuff, right? And I asked you about that whole terror thing, and you're like, there was no terror thing. Oh yeah?
There was?
Oh yeah?
Oh no.
Yeah, of course there is. Border Patrol catches record number on terrorist list.
Oh jeez.
There's more. Biden's open border is an invitation to terror attacks.
Yeah.
Which is very possible. Nobody can prove that for sure until something happens, but that's a terrible thing to have to wait on.
Yeah.
CBP encounters 100 on terrorist watch list at southwest border, half after entering illegally.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. It's a real thing. This is a GOP House press release. 42 suspects 42 suspected terrorists have been apprehended at southern border since Biden took office.
Wow.
So there's a lot. There's actually a lot.
That is a lot.
Which makes sense. If something's just open,
yeah,
everyone will take advantage of it. Here's the thing. Good, hardworking people who just want to make a life for themselves will take advantage of it. Horrible people will also get in the mix of that. And there's just no avoiding that. And people just get really frightened when they see that you see 1,000 people, right? And there's been many videos of this on X and YouTube and just everywhere. 1,000 people. They're all men. Mm-hmm. They're all like, you know, army-aged men. You know?
Yeah.
Like they're young. They're able-bodied. People look at that and they're like, oh, where are the women? Where are the kids? Who are these people? So it's like you don't know who they are. They're able-bodied men who could do whatever. Mm-hmm. They could help at a factory or they could do something destructive.
Yeah.
And they're
coming in record numbers.
Yeah. People, like, when people see that, it's very scary for somebody who's just in a place trying to, you know, raise a family and just be safe.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm sure you can find many people who have been here for a while who come from like Mexican descent and would look at that and be like, oh, whoa.
Yeah. What are those people doing?
What's going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't know. But I just wanted to show you that. There's a bunch.
That is crazy.
There's a lot.
Yeah. From what I've seen online, the argument for like the crime rate is that among immigrants, the crime rate is less than the total population of people who already live here. But to that, I would say, even if it's, I don't know, like 1 in 100 immigrants end up committing a crime, why do we want that extra 1 in 100 to do that?
Because inclusivity.
Because it still increases the overall crime rate, the overall instance of crime in the country.
Yeah, but you want to be good to people, you know? You just want to be good to people. People need bread. People need places to stay. Just be good. Everybody should come in. You ever hear Louis C.K.'s take on Joe Rogan about it? I won't play it because it's too long, but he's just like, let them all in. Let them all in. He's like, because things shouldn't be good for us here. Things shouldn't be good. You know, when things are just good, that's not how it's supposed to be. They're supposed to get, so let them in and, you know, whatever bad happens, it's like, it's fine because it's not supposed to be good. He sounded insane.
That is weird.
Again, I despise when I hear people who have enough money to make a bunker.
Yeah.
And hide in it.
And insulate themselves and their family.
Yeah. They don't have to be around the regular population. They have multiple houses throughout the world, and they're just like, whatever, who cares?
In gated communities.
Yeah. And they're like, whatever. It's crazy. So crazy. But yeah, that was his take.
Wow.
I did a video on that a while ago.
I thought it was going to be like satire at first.
No.
That's so
he was
weird.
dead serious.
What did Joe say?
Weird. Joe was just like, yeah, but you know, Joe tries to go along with the thought process of whoever's in front of him.
Yeah.
Sometimes to a detriment, but often it will help him understand other ways of thinking.
Sure.
So he didn't push back like, you sound crazy. That's something I would do. He was just like, you really think that's the best thing to do though? Because, you know, sometimes you don't know. He's like, you know, it shouldn't be that good. He's like, oh, you mean like we have too many luxuries? Yeah, luxuries. Like, he was just kind of playing off of it, but he wasn't exactly like poking CK about it too much. But it was just an interesting take.
That's weird.
Yeah, he's a weird guy. He's a weird guy. You know what he got canceled for?
Yep.
He's a weird guy. All right, is that everything?
That's everything.
All right. Like, subscribe, share. Let me throw up this video real quick so you guys can actually see the title here. Check this video out. That's the title, at US/Mexican border with Arizona sheriff. That's the gentleman's YouTube right there, Peter Santinello. Really, really, really good documentary. Go ahead and check that out. Peter Santinello. Great video. And other than that, we are out.
Bye.